Hey, it's Valentine's Day. Yay. Valentine's Day is that special holiday where we pretend to care about our significant other while secretly thinking about what we could do with that life insurance payout. So this video, I want to talk about 10 of my least favorite relationships in the Game of Thrones TV show. Not the books, because there's way too many couples in the books that I just really hate. This includes sorta in relationship characters or super shipped characters. And by the way, this is my opinion, so don't get super butthurt that Ramsay and Sansa were the, perfect couple. So let's start with number 10 on my list for my least favorite couples with Jon and Dany. I really don't like this relationship, not because I don't like Dany or Jon, it just felt so forced and manufactured and rushed. I've seen romance in less time be built up more believably than the horse shit we got for Jon and Dany. When Davos said this line to Jon,
What do you think of her? Who? I believe you know of whom I speak.
I think she has a good heart.
A good heart? I've noticed you staring at a good heart.
I was thinking, what? He looks annoyed as hell with her every scene. Though in fairness, Jon looks annoyed with life in every scene. But if you have to tell us that Jon is into Dany instead of showing us, there's a problem. This reminds me of the mess that is Tyrion and Dany. According to the show writers and actors, Tyrion is in love with Dany, and it was supposed to be super obvious in this scene. Maybe I just have a cold heart that is incapable of seeing love. I don't know, but I call BS. Now from interviews, Kit and Amelia are saying Dany and Jon are super in love, so oh god, there's that. Of course, Kit also said that Jon was never happier than when he was with Ygritte. To which a million people said, he only said that because he's married to the actress. Because that makes total fucking sense. The only way I'm going to be happy with this relationship is if it ends with one of them dying, or Jon shoving his sword through Dany's chest to create the true Lightbringer, which I guess would result in death. You usually don't survive a sword shoved through your heart. I am not looking forward to Dany and Jon's romantic relationship in the final season. I just don't want to see any more of it. Just kill her in childbirth already. You know you're gonna do it, D&D. Just get it over with so we have to stop watching them pretend to be in love. Please. But let's move on to number 9, Robb and Talisa. I know this was a fan favorite couple, but I hated this relationship. Robb, you fucking idiot. In the books, when he married the show's counterpart, Jane, it made a little more sense. He did it because in his grief, he made a mistake, slept with her, and then married her to preserve her honor. That was totally a Ned Stark move for Robb to make. In the show, he just does it because apparently he falls in love with her, and he's a raging idiot. Even Catelyn tries to smack sense into him.
You have inherited your father's responsibilities. I'm afraid they come at a cost. You are promised to another. A debt that must be paid.
But Robb's like, nah, I'm gonna get this pussy and just mess up everything. I don't deny they had a lot of chemistry, and it was a super cute relationship. But for what it cost Robb, I hate it so much at the same time. Now that I've pissed off a bunch of people, let's move on to number 8, Bronn and Tyene. Even though these two weren't actually together, tons of people ship them, so I'm including them on my list of least favorite couples. I cheat on these lists all the time. Don't act like you're shocked. Tyene became a lot of people's favorite when she showed her boobies. In those people's defense, she has very nice boobies. They then loved the flirtation between these two. After she delivered this Oscar-worthy line,
Wait too long. Got a noble woman to marry back home.
You want a good girl, but you need a bad pussy.
people were sure these two would get married and Bronn would settle down with her in a castle in Dorne and they'd have lots of babies and orgies. And people were so sure that Bronn would rescue her from the dungeon when Cersei poisoned her. And nothing made me happier when they confirmed that Tyene and Ellaria died painfully in that dungeon and Bronn never rescued her. Yay. Now they'll never be together. Hey, number 7, which is also not a technically together couple, but they did share some kisses. Sansa and Baelish. People shipped the hell out of these two, but I hated every moment they had together. Baelish was the creeper older guy trying to live out his fantasies of tagging Catelyn by going after her daughter. Baelish is just a predator, and I can't understand why people wanted these two together. It was one of the grossest non-relationships, but they still kissed on Game of Thrones. I'm not the least bit sad that he's dead. And to the Sansa Baelish shippers, girl, you got issues. I know men ship them too. And I say the same thing. Now let's get back to actual couples, Joffrey and Sansa. They were betrothed for a time, but even when Joffrey was being sweet in the beginning, I did not like this couple.
You're my lady. One day we'll be married in the throne room. Lords and ladies from all over the Seven Kingdoms will come. From the last hearth in the north to the salt shore in the south. And you will be queen over all of them.
1, Sansa just wanted to be with him because she wanted to be queen. 2, Joffrey is just a piece of psycho shit.
Look at him.
Please let me go home. I won't do any treason, I swear.
Mother says I'm still to marry you, so you'll stay here and obey. Look at him!
This is another couple that some people shipped so hard. The same people that believe Joffrey was just misunderstood. Yes, there are those people. Remember, there are people that write love letters to murderers in prison. It's a sick world, kids. A sick, sick world. So I never liked this couple from day one, even knowing how it would end. It was just sickening to watch. Had they actually gotten married, it would have played out similar to Rhaella and Aerys. Joffrey getting boners from torturing his wife. Number 5, Cersei and Jaime. Oh my god, this is another relationship where people actually love it. Like, they seriously root for these two and want them to be together. In the end. Are you absolutely crazy? This relationship is just plain abusive. Cersei doesn't love Jaime. She loves herself and Jaime loving her. She has spent her life using her vagina to control Jaime, which lost him the Westerlands. Though I guess he was offered it back and could have it now. But she also cost him finding love when he became a Kingsguard to stay close to her. But let's be honest, it wasn't all Cersei. Jaime was also incredibly abusive.
It's not right. It's not right. It's not right.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
This is just one of the most toxic relationships in the show, and I'm shocked how many people love them together. Jaime, you were dismissed from the Kingsguard. You left Cersei. You can marry and have lands of your own. Stay away from Cersei, join up with Dany and Jon like you're going to do, and hopefully they'll reward you afterwards. Heck, you could even marry Brienne and Tormund and live happily ever after with those two. I can't believe I actually dislike this couple more than Jaime and Cersei, but number 4, Robert and Cersei. It was really close, if that makes you feel better. These two were destructive. I think this scene says everything.
Don't you get tired?
Every day.
How long can hate hold a thing together?
Well, 17 years is quite a long time.
Then, of course, this lovely line from Robert during this scene.
Was it ever possible for us? Was there ever a time, ever a moment?
No.
There are really so many scenes to pick from to show why this was the worst relationship, and I hated it. This marriage was made so Robert could keep the Lannisters by his side to secure his new realm, post-usurping the throne from the Targaryens, and it was a disaster. It all went downhill when on their wedding night, Robert said Lyanna's name during sex, and from there, it just got worse and worse. Cersei, for one, went out of her way to make sure she had babies with her twin brother and not Robert, which is super douchey. Robert went out of his way to whore around and grope women in front of his wife. He didn't even try to hide it. Which is also super douchey. I'm not shocked that eventually Cersei arranged for her husband to be killed. I'd probably plan his murder too. So yeah, of all the relationships in Game of Thrones, this one ranks high up on my least favorite. I hated seeing them together in every scene. Was just so painful to watch. Those two should never be in the same continent, let alone married. Okay, let's go to another controversial pick for number 3, Lyanna and Rhaegar. Look, I'm not doubting their love, and I'm not doubting they were a good match. But why I hate this couple is how they went about it. Rhaegar, you're a dumbass. You were a crown prince. There were ways you could have gone about breaking off Lyanna's engagement to Robert and getting her for yourself. Yeah, maybe you'd have to give a lot to the Baratheons and Starks, but just going off with a betrothed woman and hiding out while a war went on makes you trash. And Lyanna, you're also a moron. You just don't run away from home. I know this couple probably created the prince that was promised, and that is great. That is spectacular. Still doesn't mean I like this couple and their series of super fucking stupid decisions that resulted in a ton of death. Boo, you idiots. Let's go to number 2, Ramsay and Sansa, though their marriage ended the way I hope mine does, with me feeding my husband to starved dogs. Sansa made the unfortunate decision of trusting Baelish, but really, what choice did she have? That trust led to her marrying Ramsay Bolton, which was not a fun relationship for her. Rape, abuse, and generally not having much in common made them a terrible couple that was just painful to watch. Ramsay needed a girl more like Miranda. Sansa just didn't have the level of kink Ramsay needed. Finally, the most controversial on my list, so of course I put it as number 1, Gilly and Craster. I know a lot of people loved this relationship and thought they were a power couple, but I just hated it. And yes, I know they created the most adorable baby from their union, but still. However, it is hard to root for a couple when the wife-daughter turned on her dad-husband and betrayed him.
Sam said you could help.
I'm sorry, but Sam knows we're not supposed to. She's pregnant. We have to take her with us when we leave.
There's a lot to say about loyalty, and I think Gilly proves she's a treacherous snake, and Craster could do much, much better. So yeah, Craster and Gilly, or Snake Bitch as I call her, they're my least favorite couple. But what are your least favorite Game of Thrones couples? Like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section down below.